Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee here live on our Wednesday night, but not on Wednesday, it's Thursday. I'm Dee Slater, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me here tonight. We are going to be making pocket cards weekly here, and this is our second week of doing so. And this is the double pocket card that we're going to make tonight. So we'll be making this one here with the sun prints, but it's a double pocket card that when you pull it out, you can, write your messages on this for the pocket here. And then the double pocket comes where we're going to fold this in such a way that you can actually tuck in a gift card. Hi, Linda. Thanks for saying hi. Hello. This is the one we're going to make tonight, and I did want to share with you my two sample versions that I made. Here's to show that you can get a gift card in here on the pouch. This one I folded the wrong way, but it's still cute, and we'll talk about that at the end. And I'll kind of tell you some learning tips I did on this one. And then, here's another one that that we made, or that I made here. And so this is our double pocket card. All right, let's go ahead and we will get started making this really super easy. If you don't mind a few score lines, it's a pretty easy project for us to do here tonight. I'm going to use my Simply Scored scoring tool. You can use your scoring blade on your trimmer. And let me see if I can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to start out with a piece of 8.5 by 8.5 piece of designer paper. Hi, Janet. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Again, 8.5 by 8.5. And if your paper has direction, you want to have it going so that it's right side up here along the top of your of where you're scoring. So our two measurements that we're going to do on the side here is at 2 1/8 and at 6 3/8. And on here it's the third hash mark, 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we're going to turn it 90 degrees to our left. So again, if you had directionality to your paper, it would be over on this side. And now we're going to score this side at 5.5. And that is our scoring that we're going to need tonight. Take this aside. Okay, so what we're going to do next is you just want to determine which side that you want to basically be the back side of it. And then whatever pattern you have will be this pattern right here, and your other side would be the bottom section. So I do want to have the kind of like the what do I call it, the dandelion paper on here. Hi, Marge. So I want that to be on the back side, so I'm going to flip it upside down so it's facing the table, and I'm going to bring these sides in. So this is the 8.5 side that we scored on first. And we want to bring them in, and we want to make sure that these pretty much meet. And you have a little play here, and you can kind of force that. If they don't exactly meet, just kind of press it together as you use your bone folder and make it so that it meets. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to get a crisp line on the bottom. All right, so that's our folding that we're going to do. Next, we're going to take our scissors. I'm going to get my paper snips, and we're going to cut this score line here and stop where the intersection is. And we're going to go ahead and cut that. And we're going to do it on both sides. And like so. All right, so now we're going to do some tucking in. So as you can see here, this makes this nice little V diagonal here. And how we're going to create that is we're going to fold in the outer edges along the score line. And you want to make sure that you're not right on the score line when you do that. You want to stay just a little bit inside of it. And you can always kind of test it, and that looks pretty good. Go ahead and give that a crisp edge. And again, I'm going to kind of put my finger here so that I know to fold just slightly before the score line. And okay, so when we tuck it in, oops, see, I didn't do that. That one was off a little bit. So I'm going to fold this again. It's just paper. We're going to tell it what to do, right? I'm going to fold that. There we go. It still might be just, I've got it hanging over just a little bit. And you know what? That's going to get glued down. Let's just get rid of it. Boop. There. That's easy peasy. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Then we'll take some liquid glue and we're going to tack down these corners. So I always like to test that first to make sure that it's, you know, free and clear of our, like when we fold it up. Okay, so we have it this way. Okay, great. All right, now this is where we want to do the same thing with these flaps, but in order to get the different look here covered all the way, we flip it around and we're going to fold it in, the flaps in again, just like we did. So we're going to turn it to the opposite side. And I'm going to just make sure that I have this the way I want it before I glue down these flaps. It's almost easier to see on this one. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it back to this side here, and we're going to fold this up and turn these inward. And then we just made it. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm going to unfold this again. And now I'm going to tack it down. I've made these, this will be my 4th time making it. And, you know, it just helps me to go ahead and fold everything together first, just to make sure that it's going where I want it to go. We're going to tack these down. Okay. Now there's absolutely, like right here, you don't really even need any adhesive on these flaps here, because when we fold this up, this will keep it together. All right, so let's go ahead and let's make this little, the gift card pouch. Again, I kind of like to try to get it all folded up together to make it less likely that I'm going to mess something up. Because we want to make sure that we have room to tuck in our gift card here, we just need a little bit of liquid glue along the bottom outer flaps. So we'll do this. And again, just on the lower part of the flaps on the bottom. We'll bring those in. And give that a little time to dry. These are where we cut inward when we used our snips. If you notice, I have these just a little bit off. And so if you wanted to, you can come in here and kind of neaten that up just a little bit. All right, so now we've just made our pouch for that. All right, the last little bit of gluing that we want to do is we're going to glue this up. We want to make sure not to put any glue, like normally I would just start gluing and adding adhesive all on this flap. What I have found that we want to be cautious of is that any of the glue that we put here, when we close this up and put in our pull-out card part of it, you might have some adhesive that gets on the back side of it. So what I like to do is just stay free and clear of the seam line here. So we can go ahead and we can put glue anywhere up in here, but just not along the seam line. So I'm just going to kind of make an L or a backwards L, whichever direction that you're going, but kind of go up and over, but try to avoid that middle section. And I'm purposely leaving this open here because we could actually get a third pocket out of it. If you don't want to make a third pocket, we could glue it up. I'm going to leave this unglued for right now, or this section in here, just so that you can see how that could make another pocket. And we'll glue this and put that up, and we'll get our burnishing done. Oh my gosh, that is it. A few clever folds that someone had thought of. This is not my creation. And we have our pocket card. Okay, so we're gonna finish the design here together, but I just wanna show you that we made this pocket, we made this pocket, and if you don't glue in between, you can even make a third pocket with it. Now I'm just decorating like there's two pockets here, here tonight, but I wanted to show you. Do you like it? I think it's so clever. I got the idea from Chris, and her last name starts with an S. I'll definitely give her a shout out when I do the comments here. Okay, let's go ahead and let's create a little decorating on this. Okay, so this is where we're going to be going with it. And I'm using the Nature's Prints bundle. It's the Nature Prints stamp set and the Natural Prints die. So those were the dies that I used for this project. And let's go ahead and we'll get a little stamping done. Ahead of time, I did go ahead and stamp and die cut out some of the images from that bundle. This little label goes with that as well. And so I'm going to use best wishes and happy thoughts. It's such a nice sentiment, and it can go to a lot of different things. You know, it kind of goes a little bit beyond birthdays. Thanks, Rita. It's such a cute fold. All right, so I've got this inked up with Night of Navy. Let's see how good I do here. Not too shabby. So we got our Night of Navy. Oops, I'm going to keep that out. So that's going to be our sentiment. And then for the inside of the card, I'm going to repeat this like little twig bush image here. And so I've got that loaded up on my block as well. And with my Night of Navy, I'm going to stamp 3 times in the corner without lifting up after the first one, or without re-inking. So I'll do 1, 2, and 3. And then it kind of repeats back to the colors that we're going to use for the front of it. And then this just leaves a nice space open for us to do some handwriting with. This piece of Whisper White is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to mat it on a piece of Night of Navy at 5 by 3/4. And again, I'll bring out some samples, the other samples, and I'll just kind of show you some other measurements for the card insert, and you can kind of see which ones that you might like best as far as the measurements. It's just a little tweak on the measurements, but not by too much. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. And on my sample here, you may have noticed that I've got a little, as you know, we call it like taking a little bite, just to help the recipient get to their card to pull out a little more. You could use a circle punch, a circle die, and on one of them I even used the oval punches and took a little bite out of that. I'll just kind of show you that too if you wanted. So, you know, just anything that would give it a little bit of a showcase, I guess, to show that they can pull it out. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take this off for now. And if you leave this little pouch open here too, you can tuck in some of your stamped elements. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I think I'll grab a little piece of scrap paper. Oops. Hang on just a quick second. I'm going to go ahead and build it up on just a little piece of scrap paper because I want to tuck it in a little differently than what I did on my first one. All right, so I'm just going to kind of build up our little leaf images here, kind of layer them up. I think I want the lighter ones on the bottom. Put a little glue down. And kind of layer those in a crisscross pattern. And that kind of helps anchor those down a little bit. And I just, since I'm going to tuck it, I've got glue on the top of it too. So I'm going to just kind of hide that. No one's going to see that. Okay, and now when I put this in here, that gives me a little bit more of an area to add adhesive. And I'm going to put it just on the outside of my scrap paper here. I'm going to pull open that kind of that bonus pocket that we created. Get this up so I can pull that up just a little bit. I'm going to tuck that in, kind of, sort of. There we go. Must have had a little glue on that, but kind of like bring that up on here. And then ahead of time, I have, this is Starry Sky, the glimmer little twine that's there. It's so pretty. And I tied a double knot bow. Just pick that up with a little glue dot, and we'll kind of put that right there. I don't want to go too far in here with any decoration because I want them to be able to pull out the gift card. And I don't have anything that looks, I've got to get a different little gift card here. But you can kind of see how then you can see where the gift card is. And let's go ahead and we'll get our sentiment put down. And I'll go through and look at the comments here. The way I've got this set up tonight, my other program, once again, wasn't working for me. I probably have to take it in and see what little malware I have that's not letting it work right. And then I can just put that right here. And now when they have it, they can pull out the gift card and then pull out their card that you can write some greetings on. I just absolutely love this. It's just, you know, such an, well, one, it's another fun way of using up our designer series paper. And then two, you know, it's got the gift card right on the front so they know instantly what is going on. And even if you didn't give a gift card, you could always have another little pull-out note possibly for it. All right, so I'm going to bring in my other samples and kind of show you like some things that didn't work so well for me that maybe give you a little idea of what you can do to maybe avoid the same mistakes here. All right, this was my first one that I folded, and as you can see here, it's like I actually folded it in the opposite direction. You know how like the last one we did this one, I turned it upside down to make the bottom part of the fold? Well, I did it while it was facing upwards, and it's still okay. It still made our little pocket, you know, just fine, only that it showed part of the designer paper here from, you know, the other part of it. That's not horrible, but it just wasn't the kind of the complete designer paper look here. Okay, so I also, something I wanted to kind of share with you. Again, sample cards are just that. You kind of learn some lessons. I used this cute, adorable little pig image from, oh goodness, the name of the stamp set escapes me right now. But when I put it down and it's glued down in place, when I put the gift card in, it covered up way too much of the focal image that's up here. And so I tried to even like peel it up, but it was down there pretty good. And so what I would recommend is, even if you get like a 2x4 piece of cardstock until you get your gift card, go ahead and put something like that that's a comparable size to a gift card, so that when you put your image on the top, that you know, it's going to not get covered up by the gift card on that. Super cute anyways, I think. And so there's that. Okay, so that was like my little lesson learned on it. For this one, what I did is I was playing around with the size of the inserts. On this one, because you end up with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of paper here, which is the standard card base when you close it, I just did a typical layering piece of 5 1/4 by 4, and I didn't use on purpose, I didn't give it a little bite on the top, a little notch, just so that you guys could see it. And it's actually, you know, it does fit. It's kind of, it can get a little snug, but I think it works. So it's just kind of what you might like on that. And on this one, not so much, like this was just another one that I practiced with, but I thought it turned out really cute with the little hedgehog bundle. And on this one, I think I did in between those two sizes. So just really whatever card base that you might like to use on it. You don't have to do the size that I did. You can adjust it accordingly if you want. All right, this is our another pocket card. I thought I would just, you know, share with you this. I just love anything that's got another little interactive element, that when the recipient gets it, that, you know, there's something else for them to do, whether it's another little pull-out note that you might have, a little gift card, could tuck some cash in there. How fun would that be to, you know, open up a card and just see the denomination folded along here, and you know you've actually got cash to spend as well. All right, everybody, have a great Thursday night. Around 10 o'clock, I will draw for a drawing, and I will send the lucky winner one of these two cards here from tonight's stash, and I hope you enjoy making this yourself. All right, everybody, again, have a nice night and happy crafting. Bye-bye.